Hello everyone, this is Devin, here to bring you DraftKings NFL DFS picks for Week 17. For those new to the Sporty Mouth Channel, I'm going to provide 7 DFS picks for GPP. The 7 DFS picks I provide are not the only option out there. Therefore, if you do not hear an NFL player or DFS pick mentioned in the video, does not mean they're not in play. Before I get into my DFS picks that I want to provide for this particular video, I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year. Hope over this regular seasons for both football and basketball that I provide some information that helped your DraftKings contest out. Definitely would like to thank everyone that's taking the time out of your day to leave comments and viewing my content. Definitely want to thank you for that. And for those that's purchased items that were found in my video description, thank you. That definitely supports the channel. Hopefully that continues to provide information that you find helpful to help you continue to win some of your contests. Definitely. So without further ado, we're going to get into these DraftKings picks or DFS picks. My first DFS pick is Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers. DraftKings salary is $6,000. I'm recommending Aaron Rodgers because he's facing a Minnesota Vikings squad who's last in the league, allowing passing yards to opposing offenses. So definitely going to make a good option. Another reason to why I'm going to suggest Aaron Rodgers. The projected scoring or total for this particular game is 48 points. And that normally means that there's going to be some passing of the football. Although Aaron Rodgers has not been, say, spectacular this season in regarding fantasy football or playing on DraftKings, the factors are there. The game is projected to be high scoring. The defense he's going to face is somewhat weak. So definitely makes a good option. My next DFS pick, Travis Etienne Jr. If I mispronounce the name, please forgive me. DraftKings salary $6,400. Etienne is a player that Lawrence looks for in the backfield. His last 2 weeks, he's had like 3 targets. Not bad for a running back, but he's facing a Houston squad, and the main reason to why I am recommending him. The Texans are 32nd in the league, allowing fantasy points to the running back position. A lot of players has played solid football against the Texans, so Etienne more than likely is going to be highly owned because of that aspect or point that they're not great against stopping a running back on opposing offenses. So should make a good option to help the DraftKings lineups out. My next DFS pick, Leonard Fournette of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. DraftKings salary $5,600. Fournette is facing a Tampa Bay squad, facing a Carolina squad who's not, say, horrible against the run, but definitely you always kind of roster Fournette because he's a player that catches the football out of the backfield. If I'm not mistaken, last week he had like 10 targets. Out of those 10 targets, he had 9 receptions. And he also sees some work in the red zone, so definitely makes a good option for your DraftKings lineups. Kind of moving through these different players. But my next DFS pick, Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings, DraftKings salary $9,500. There's much to say about Jefferson. He is a player that is considered to be the best wide receiver in the league right at the moment. Has had over 30 DraftKings points in his last 3 weeks of football. He's a player that, despite Green Bay having a decent defense against the pass, he's a player that can overcome good defense. So definitely makes a good option. Cousins, of course, looks for him because he's one of the better receivers in the league. Definitely should be an option that everybody would probably consider in tomorrow's slate of games. We're going to stay in that same game and suggest Christian Watson of the Green Bay Packers. DraftKings salary $5,900. Watson is a player that Aaron Rodgers looks for. I think he had like 5 or 6 targets last week. Should be another option to consider for your lineups because, again, as mentioned, This game's projected to have a high total. I think 48 points is the projected total. And if that happens, I think it's going to translate to Aaron Rodgers throwing the football, and Watson is going to be a player that he looks for. So this should be definitely a spot where you want to grab a player. $5,900, not a bad salary as well. Should be able to help your DraftKings lineups out. And my next DFS pick, Alan Lazard of the Packers. DraftKings salary $5,400. And if I mentioned earlier and said $5,400 for Watson, Watson's DraftKings salary is $5,900. Lazard, as mentioned, not going to go through too much of analysis per se. Lazard is a player that Rodgers looks for. He's seen some targets, and the game is projected a high total against a poor pass defense. Should make a good option. Should be able to help your DraftKings lineups out. And my last DFS pick is T.J. Hockenson of the Minnesota Vikings. DraftKings salary $5,400. Hockenson had a very outstanding week last week. Not expecting that to happen this week, but I do expect him to be an option that Cousins look for. Should be a player, probably needs about 15 DraftKings points to help your lineups out. I think he's definitely a player that could get that. He's one of the better tight ends in the league. Again, last week he had like 30 DraftKings points. Not something that you expect this week. That touchdown week last week, not something you often see from a tight end. But if he can come see half of that production, he's going to help your DraftKings lineups out. Hope everybody found this information helpful. These are my DraftKings NFL DFS picks for Week 17. Please like the video. Subscribe to the Sporty Mouth Channel. Take care. For anyone looking to save time building their lineups, you might want to try Draft Dashboard. As you can see on the screen, you get a 30-day trial to play around with Draft Dashboard, see how you like it. Definitely a decent option if you're looking to save time and if you build a lot of various lineups. And if you're looking to utilize Draft Dashboard for your lineups, there will be a link in the video description for you to check it out. Take care.